we also have a frequent Flowline. And that means you can ask Dr. Paul and Commander Drew a question. And we do have a question this week. And it comes from a man in Lincoln, Nebraska, 44-year-old gentleman. And he says, my sister wants a third child, but her husband doesn't. They can afford it. What are our thoughts on it?
I guess it mainly depends on the ages of the other kids, what he's got planned, what else is going on. What are the motivations? What are the motivations for having a third child? What are the motivations for not wanting a third child? So it sounds like they've got to work out, whatever's going on between them.
But what I think is, number one, you should mind your own business. And I don't mean that mean, but it's very, very bad to get into people's businesses like that. The other thing I want to say is that if two people don't want a child, I don't think it's good to have one. And it was the same thing like Taryn, my daughter, was highly recruited by all these colleges all over the country to play basketball. And somebody very wise told me, Dr. Paul, don't pick her school for her. And the reason not to is because as soon as something goes bad, they're going to blame you. Well, if you have a child and both parents didn't want it, whenever a problem happens, I don't want them to blame each other saying, I told you you shouldn't have a kid. I told you you should have a kid. So that's what I think. But I think you need to be very careful talking to your sister and not alienate yourself from their family. That's what I think, Dr. Paul.